for a split second, I almost was like, you know what? We're just going to turn around. We're just going to go back home. We're not going to do this. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie with 5 Daughters Crochet, and if you're new here, welcome. I am a mom of 5 daughters who loves to crochet and just be creative, and I love to share that with all of you. So I am here to bring you my next video and a little behind the scenes story, if you will. So let's get into it. But before we do that, please be sure to like this video, comment below, and hit that subscribe button so that you can get updated on new videos coming out from me. And let's get into today's video. So today's video, I am talking about, I believe, something that a lot of people don't talk about, maybe don't talk about enough. And while it can be a vulnerable subject to share and talk about, I think it's important that we share not just the rainbows and sunshine, but also the not so great days and things that can come up and happen. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. And with that, I have a little story to share that ties into all of this and my reason for sharing this content with you on this video. So if you watched my last video, I talked about having a market coming up. And so that was this past Saturday. Today's Monday, December 2nd. And I had a market on Saturday, November 30th that came from a cancellation. So I was kind of on like a wait list, and they notified me saying, hey, we have a spot available. Are you still interested? And I was like, yes, jumped on it right away. I was a little late to the game for a lot of markets, unfortunately, this year. So by the time I reached out, a lot of them were full. So I put myself on wait list and hoped that I could get at least a few markets this season. And so when this one contacted me, I jumped on saying yes right away, lining all that up. And let's just say it did not go as planned. And I'm going to share that story so you can see what I'm talking about. But I actually recorded a couple clips that morning. I was excited. I was going to, record a lot of content that day, and I was like eager and excited. I always am on market days. If you're anything like me, if you do markets as well. So I recorded like it's market day and all this. So then after that clip of driving there and us actually getting there, it all went downhill from there. So I thought we would be pulling into like a small town or something because we were driving down this back road. Nope, there was no little town. We drove down this back road for about 7 minutes, and then we came to what was going to be the location, and it was this small little church building. And I had 3 of my daughters with me. The market seemed to fall on a Saturday that my husband was working again. So in those cases, I always have my 6-year-old and my 6-month-old with me. And when able to, if my daughter doesn't, one of my other daughters doesn't have something else going on, my 14-year-old absolutely loves to be a part of these as well and help out. And she's right in there with these kinds of things as well. So she was able to come with as well so that she could help me with the table. Maybe I have to tend to one of my little ones, or she can help me with them as well. So she is a great help on market days when I do have her little sisters with me as well. So I had 3 of my daughters with me that day, and we pulled up, and there was like this small little cardboard sign outside. It was hardly legible if you were up close, let alone if you're driving by. And My 14-year-old goes, "It's so small." And for a split second, I almost was like, you know what? We're just going to turn around. We're just going to go back home. We're not going to do this. And I caught myself and I thought, some buildings look smaller from the outside, but you're pleasantly surprised when you go in. I thought, you know what? I said I would do this market. I told the coordinators here I would be here and do this market. And I am a person that, you know, my word means a lot. And I stick to my word. So I was like, let's give it a shot. Let's just see. So we go in and park, which I gotta say, parking lot wasn't great. You know, it was icy and a small parking lot. I thought the vendors themselves are gonna take up this parking spaces. There's nowhere else to park. It's just on a back road. It's like, so there's no like sides of the streets you can even park on really without being in the line of traffic. Anyway, thought, let's give it a shot. Let's just see. And so we headed inside and it was just as small on the inside as it was on the outside. So there was this small room. I feel like no bigger than my living room, maybe a little bit bigger than my living room at home. And there was about 8 tables total. That was on the outside, and then there was a couple in the middle. And I was one of the ones in the middle after looking for my name on the empty tables and not seeing it. For a split second, I thought, if something was a mistake, we're just gonna go home. Turns out the person that I was going to replace, who canceled, they forgot to switch the name. So that was, you know, that got sorted out and fixed. And I thought, okay, let's start setting up. So I brought my stuff in, set up and all this. And it was about time for the market to start. And I'm sitting there and my 14-year-old goes, "You do not look very happy, Mom." And I'm like, oh. I had to take that advice and that feedback from her because I clearly was giving off a negative vibe, and that was not going to help me for the day, no matter what my projected thoughts on how the outcome was going to be. I had to switch my attitude, the energy, and the vibe I was giving off, because being like the way I was not going to help me at all today. So I shook it off and I was like, let's just see how today goes. And I will say I was surprised, like more people came and went through than I anticipated, given the location, and they advertised on social media, but there wasn't anything like, even on the main like highway road that you would turn off of. It would have been great if there was a sign there, but there wasn't. Things like that. So for what it was, there was more people that showed up than I anticipated. So that was really good, I guess. But I only sold 4 items in the 9-to-1 slot of the market. 4 items. My table was $20, so very low risk, which is great. And I think after paying for my table, it was about $65 that I made. Now, obviously, I would have to subtract like my materials off of that to get that true profit, but it wasn't a great market. And so that's kind of what I'm sharing with you all today in this video. That's going to happen sometimes. Not every market is going to be a hit it out of the park market, and that's okay. And that's what this video is touching on. I don't know that enough people talk about it, and I definitely think that everyone goes through it at some point or something similar. Some might actually be a complete bust. Maybe you don't make any money. But the bottom line, it's an experience. You're still getting your name out there. People still see you and see what you have to offer. Maybe they look you up on social media and start following you there. maybe they'll find you at another market and then purchase from you there. So sometimes it takes some people multiple engagements before they purchase from you. And with that, from my experience, I actually have a few tips or feedback pointers for you, for myself as well. And I just thought I would share them with you that they may be helpful. So, number one is show up the same every single market, no matter the location, the venue, your perceived thoughts, or projected outcome of the day. Show up with that great energy, great vibe, great attitude, because that can make a big difference or make or break how your day goes. So that is very important on how you are going to come across when people are around you and looking at your table and everything like that. So first and foremost, show up to every market as if you are going to have an absolutely amazing day, and always have hope that it's going to be great, because without that, then you'll be sure that that won't be the case. Pointer or tip number two is take any feedback that you get as a positive and perspective. So if you paid for your table for the day, it's a win. You know, you're not out any money. It was an experience, like I had just mentioned. And sometimes those experiences ground you a little bit so that you have some perspective again. And you can take a look at some different things, make some adjustments where needed, if needed. And you can move forward from there, which leads me into my tip number three, which is to do just that. Move forward. Please, please, please do not let one day, one bad experience, one bad moment, whatever the case is, derail you from continuing to move forward. It can be so discouraging when we have those days, those markets, those moments, whatever the case is. And I know all too well how it feels, but that is where, if it's something that brings you joy, something you enjoy, you're going to want to go back to it just for that. And I think that that's great, because again, it's a big picture, right? And if everything in life, one bad day, one bad moment or something derailed us, then no one would do anything. No one would get anywhere. You know what I mean? And it's in those moments that we get back up and we keep moving forward that allow us to grow, evolve, and do better, learn from things. And, you know, the next one will be better. So in that regard, just take it for what it is and just move forward. The next day is a brand new day, and you just keep doing what you're doing. And I believe in the compound effect and all of that, how everything builds over time. But it's only going to build over time if you stay consistent and keep showing up and keep doing what you've been doing, even amidst a bad day or a market that didn't go very well or what have you. And like me here, I'm showing up still, sharing that with you, because I want my channel to be very real and raw and authentic. And I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I want to come on here and not just be the person that shares that highlight reel and all the great and wonderful and oh and blah, 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 right? We all like to do that. It makes us feel good. But that's not always the reality. So I want to show up and share with you the other side of things as well, because I think that it's important that people know the whole picture, but it doesn't change that big picture. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm going to round out and wrap up this video for today, a shorter video. But I just thought it was important to come on here and just kind of share that little story with you and some takeaways with you from that, in hopes that it might help you as well. Know that you're not alone if you too have experienced something like this. But if you found value in this, be sure to like this video, comment down below. And of course, I appreciate all of you. And if you find value in this video or another one that I have, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified on any upcoming videos that I have. I have lots of ideas coming and written down so that I will keep working through those as well. Included in that is a much requested pom-pom making tutorial. So stay tuned for that. It will be coming soon in the next couple videos likely. And I'm excited for that as well. So stay tuned for that. But I hope you all have a great day. I hope you had a great weekend. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy crocheting.